Hello, BookTube. Well, the great, I don't want to say debate, the great conversation continues today. Yesterday I mentioned that I have a young friend in from out of town, a YouTuber, who has over 1 million subscribers on his channel. In fact, when he saw my video yesterday, he was strict to point out to me that he's closing in on 2 million. So he has well over 1 million subscribers. And he was astonished yesterday to find out that I was on YouTube, and he was astonished to find out that there is such a thing as BookTube, and he was astonished to find out that I have what he considers to be a negligible number of subscribers. And for him, they would be. For him, they are the actuarial plus or minus. They don't actually count, which is mind-boggling to me. And the conversation has continued on his part of urging me to do all sorts of loathsome things in order to quote-unquote grow this channel. And every one of his suggestions are the kinds of things that we all find revolting or eye-rolling, even down to little things like tagging and online search optimization tricks and tips and life hacks, stuff like that. Or even that little thing he was unwisely, he was looking at BookTube channels. He was looking around at them to see what some of the bigger ones do, and he came across that thing that we've all seen, that we all think is pathetic, that we all roll our eyes at it because it's so crassly manipulative. When some YouTuber, some booktuber, will have a number of books to talk about, whether it's a haul or whatever, and they will hold them up like this, but pages out, so that you can't see the spines. Under the assumption, I guess, that you will click on the video in order to find out what the books are. Loathsome. Absolutely loathsome. Manipulative. And all manipulation is loathsome. It is that booktuber, and there are many of them who do that. Oh my God, there are so many of them. But it's a fundamental gesture of distrust that there is inherent interest in what you have to say. It's the person saying, I'm not going to run the risk of showing you the titles, because if it's not a book you're interested in, you might not watch. Like they're a drive-in movie theater instead of a person. And I know for a fact that at this size subscriber, this kind of community number that I have, that is not the case. I've lost count of how many times over the last 2 years that many of you have said, even when I know that all you're going to talk about is something that doesn't interest me, I still watch because I like visiting you. I like talking with you. Like, for instance, I've heard that from so many people when I specifically mark a video as by being about comic books, which I tend to do every Wednesday. It doesn't matter. I've heard from dozens and dozens of people saying I don't get American comics in this country, or I'm not interested in them, never read one in my life, but it doesn't matter. I love listening to you talk about them, so I watch anyway. Because that's a community, right? Because if you have friends, your friends don't call you up ahead of time before you go out for a meal and ask you for a rundown of your topics. And if they did, you wouldn't say to them, well, I'm not going to tell you what they are, but boy, oh boy, number 4 is a shocker. None of that would happen. That is all something else. That is something else. That is something weird and artificial and sticky. And this young friend of mine, I didn't want to say any of this to him because I'm really starting to like him. But it's all he does. And it's all he tends to do. And the person that gets in front of the camera when he makes a video and talks is not anything like the person in real life. And he knows that, and he's proud of it. Oh. Anyway, the conversation has gone on and on. And it's been a lot of fun, although it has consumed mail. I'm only prioritizing because he's a guest in my home. A guest in your home has to take priority over anything else. That even my lame-ass BookTube friends, it's just a simple thing. Probably isn't so simple in 2018, but for those of you who were born before the internet, it is a simple thing. But he's got some sort of, he keeps calling it a conference, but I don't think it's a conference. I just think it's a bunch of chest-thumping dude bros tonight, at which he's going to get Richter scale drunk. So I don't think I'll be seeing him tomorrow, so we can get back to normal then. But I do have something I want to talk about, even though we don't really have mail, and that is a live stream for the Christian Science Monitor's Facebook group, BooksBeat. I've mentioned the BooksBeat group before, and if I remember, I will put a link to it down below, although it's not hard to find if I forget. You go to Facebook. I'm sure you all have Facebook accounts, but you go to Facebook and look for BooksBeat. Just type that in. The Monitors group will come up. It's a new Facebook group. It's all about books and reading and recommendations. And I know the young people in the marketing department of the Monitor who started it, and they're wonderful. They just want an incredibly lively discussion forum, and boy, oh boy, did they get that. It's wonderful. For you're in the mood for something, you just type it in. I'm looking for fiction about mythology. You type it in, and all of a sudden people will chime in, and I'll be one of them a lot of times. I try to check in several times a day with discussions that are going on, questions that are going on, that sort of thing. And because it's a moderated group, I'm one of the moderators, and because it's a moderated group, there are no trolls. There are no flame wars. There is no one there grandstanding or trying to make trouble. The minute they do, they're gone. Unlike, with other online forums, and even unlike with YouTube, where sometimes they can sneak past you. And the people are really good too. And the possibility for the Facebook page has originated of doing live streams. We actually did a test with no forewarning whatsoever. We did a test for about, 15 or 20 minutes, I think a week and a half or 2 weeks ago, and it did well. A lot of people found it, and a lot of people found it after it was over. And so we're going to do it again, only this time, well, I'd like to do it regularly, but we're certainly going to do it again, and this time there's plenty of advance warning. And that's what this video is for, to urge you all to go over. If you're a member of the Facebook group, BooksBeat, then you just have to go over and look. You'll see what I'm going to talk about. And if you're not, just go over and register. It's as easy to do as that. There's no junk mail. There's no spam or any kind. You don't have to look at it. But it's easy to do, and you will like it, because it is a very bookish community. I already knew that about the Monitor's readers, that they're very, very bookish. But it's nice to see that reflected in a group. And on Thursday, July 26th, from 2 to 3 Boston time, we're going to do another live stream with me. And right now, if you go over to the BooksBeat page, you will see a poll. The kids in marketing made a poll to decide what the subject of that live stream will be. Now, I imagine that's not hard and fast. It'll probably wander around a bit. But the organizing subject, there were 3 options. One was, what does it take to review books professionally? Number 2 was a look back at 2018 in books so far. And number 3 was a look forward at notable and enthusiasm-worthy releases coming out in August. And that poll is up now on the Facebook BooksBeat page. So if you go and register for the page and take that poll, they keep track of the numbers so that they'll know what it is going to be. I'm not sure how familiar they are with what we do here on this channel. So some of the questions early on were, are you going to be ready? Is that okay? Do you need more prep time? And I'm thinking anybody who's been watching these 5,000 videos of mine would chuckle a little at that. Steve does not need preparation to talk about books. It's just a question of what the subject will be. I think when last people checked in, the third option, noteworthy August releases, was winning handily by a wide margin. That would be fine by me, as you all know. So what I want to do is invite you to join the BooksBeat group, and also invite you to go over and take that poll, because it's going to be a live stream from 2 to 3 on Thursday the 26th, and I don't do live streams on this channel, so that would be fun to see as many of you there as possible. And some of you might be thinking, well, what if August new releases wins out? And on July 26th, you have a live stream about August new releases. Then what happens to our August 2018 TBR BY, to be read by you? What happens to that video? And I'll make you a deal, BookTube. If the August highlights, the August new releases option wins out on the BooksBeat poll, and that is what we talk about, I will still make an August TBR BY with different books. Because I've read almost every mainstream book that is coming out in August, so in America. So there are plenty of books for me to talk about. If that wins, I will make a different one. If it doesn't, then I'll just do that. But one way or another, that's what I wanted to make this video for. And I'll wrap it up now, just to urge you to do that, because I'd love to see as many of you there as possible, and we can talk about new releases coming out in August. I'm going to make a couple more reminders between now and then, because the last live stream that I did for the monitor was done with no advance warning whatsoever, almost. And I think that affected the turnout. And I'd like to see more people. I'd like a bigger turnout. It's going to be handled by other people. So all I'll have to do is talk about and think about books. I won't have to do anything else. The tech will be monitored by two very capable young people who will also monitor the comments, so that I will be able to just bloviate to my heart's content. But it feels weird right now. It's early days at BookSpeed. I have many things I would love to do on the BookSpeed channel. I'd love to do more of these live streams. I'd like to do them very regularly. I'd like to interview authors live, with you able to come and chime in. I'd love to be able to do that. But for now, there's a comfort in knowing that the technology part is being handled perfectly well. That's very nice. So I'll remind you again between now and then. But other than that, I don't think I have a video for today, because the mail is occupied. was occupied. We'll bounce back tomorrow. But that's it for now. Just an announcement and an encouragement. Because I think, I mean, you can sound off in the comments to this video, but I think those of you who've gone over to the BookSpeed page, I think you would all agree that it's not a waste of your time. It's really enjoyable. So those of you who maybe are on Facebook but aren't part of it, go right ahead. It will, I admit, be a little strange doing a live stream to a different group of people. I'm accustomed to your faces. And when I did that first live stream for the BookSpeed page, it was weird thinking there were so many people watching that don't know about YouTube, they don't know about BookTube, they don't know about me from a hole in the wall. They know me as a regular and, I hope, trusted reviewer in the monitor, but they don't know, the person standing in front of the camera. So the more of you there, the better, is what I'm trying to say. And I'll wrap it up for there. But I'll see you soon. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you, BookTube.